Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Private Practice with Soul podcast. This is the first podcast for counselors that just don't align with the traditional approaches to business and that want to use their spiritual gifts, talents, and interests to create, you guessed it, a private practice with soul. So, look, leave it to me to provide you with everything you need, including strategies that you can use to increase your income, reduce your workload, and of course, increase inquiries and referrals to your beautiful soul-led private practice. I love it so much. If you haven't done it already, grab your journal, grab your pen, and let's begin. Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. My name's Brooklyn, and I'm so pleased that you're here, even though it is a chilly 9 degrees in Mount Eliza at the moment. I'm just looking outside my window, and it's blowing a gale, and the sky is grey, and I'm kind of really happy because I don't know about you, but when it gets all windy and everything, don't you get excited? It's cold and windy and I just feel excited and invigorated. But what I want to do is talk with you today about how you can increase your audience size. And I want you to be able to have a bigger audience because you need to be able to get inquiries and bookings to your private practice, and you can't do that if there's nobody in the auditorium. So let's build up the auditorium for you. And the way that I want to share with you today is through micro offers. So micro offers are basically anything that you give away or you sell that is what we call low ticket, which means it's between $0, so it's free, up to $97. So it's something that takes a little chunk of money. It's not a lot of money. It's not really a high risk to anybody. Like if it doesn't work out for them, they're not going to be too upset about it because it wasn't like they spent $10,000 on it. So it's a really low risk way for people who are new to you to get a taste or a sample of what it could be like being in your world and even eventually working with you. So what I would love to do is just share my journey with this first off. So if I know I always do this to you, don't I? I'm like, let me just bring this up. But I am just going to jump quickly into my flow desk so that I can tell you exactly how this has worked for me in the past. So when I was first doing audience building for myself, I gave away everything for nothing. And I want to take you back to even as recently as last year. So I'm just having a look now. One of the things, and actually I'm still giving away a handful of things free. One of them is called 25 Places to Market Your Practice. And that's had 513 opt-ins, which means 513 people who hadn't heard from me before or who weren't in my world before or who were already in my world but wanted to have a sample of something else around what it could be like to work with me have downloaded this. And it's added 513 people to my little world. And the next one that I'm looking at is my workbook on how to create a high converting Psychology Today profile. This is one of my favorite micro offers because it works. It's got so many testimonials. I've got so much feedback from people and I just know, like I trust that it works. But that's had 624 opt-ins. And then other things that I've got, so I have a range of opt-ins, but do you know what? I'm just scrolling through. Other things that I've got have had like 3 or 7. The next one is a private practice bundle, and that had 416 opt-ins. And then what else did I have? How to Get Clients in 10 Days had 311 opt-ins. And what else? What were some of my low ones? Oh, here we go. A low one. A printable wall calendar for private practice. 20 people got that. What else? The LinkedIn banners. So I gave away some free banners for LinkedIn that had 76 people opt in. So not so many. But I can tell you I have 27 opt-ins. Okay. 27 micro offers that people can get from me just in Flowdesk alone. And they have built out my email list by thousands. And this is really important because when you have an email list, you want to be able to look after it. You want to be able to, well, we say nurture. We want to be able to really make those people feel like they're thankful that they're on our list because they're getting continued value from us. Plus, we also want to be making offers to them, letting them know, hey, thanks so much for being in my world. And if you want to do this thing, here's how you do that, right? Making invitations or offers to people. But of these 27 free things, they're all free at the moment. Of these 27 free things, what I'm going to be doing is turning a lot of them into $5, $7, $17 because some of them are that good. Plus, also on ThriveCut, which is where I host all my courses and memberships in the Private Practice Society, I have a whole bunch of things there that are micro offers. So in there, I have got like my pop-up groups. So a few months ago now, maybe 3 or 4 months ago now, I'm just logging into ThriveCut. If you could hear clicking, that's all it is. Because I want to show you exactly what I've got. I ran these pop-up groups. I ran 4. One was for digital products, one was for marketing in private practice, one was for starting private practice, and I forget what the last one was. But I sell all of those individually for $37 and they sell. Another micro offer that I've got is my Essential Forms for Private Practice bundle. That sells every single day and that's $47. So one of the reasons, apart from building an audience, that it's great to have micro offers in your private practice is because it adds little drops in the bucket every single day, right? You get that little dopamine hit of, oh, somebody's purchased something, I wonder what it was, and you get an extra $5 or you get an extra $27 or you get an extra $97 or whatever it is you're selling it for. It's just every little drop in the bucket adds up, and this is really helpful and it takes the pressure off, especially those times where it's more quiet in your private practice and you're thinking, how am I going to make money today? Well, think about your average session fee. If your average session fee is $150 and you've got 3 things there for $47, you only need to sell 3 of those to make up that session fee that you've, in air quotes, missed. So that's why it's really important, I think, to have this set up in your private practice. Again, apart from taking the pressure off, it helps you with projecting your future content, because you will see, just like I did when I go into Flowdesk and I see I've got 27 opt-ins and I can see some were going crazy with nearly 700 people wanting it, and then I've got others where 3 people wanted it. I get a really clear picture of, oh, okay, my audience seems to really love these types of things over here, but they're not so interested in those types of things over there. So I can let those things go and I can build out more micro offers based on the things that they're already responding to. And this helps me build my bottom line as well as provide something that's useful and wanted and valuable in my community. So I know, pretty cool, huh? So you might be thinking, well, this all sounds great, Brooklyn, but I'm already busy and I don't have time for all of this, and the setup is gonna be horrible and hard. I want to say I get that. I've been there. I get that. I know what it's like to be in that position. But I also know what it's like to have a cancellation. And I know that I got to a point with my cancellations where I was turning cartwheels. I was so happy to have a cancellation because it meant that I could work on my business. And so if you're in that position and you do get a cancellation, why wouldn't you use this time, or part of that 50 minutes or 60 minutes, however you run your sessions, to have a look at your desktop, or to have a look in your Dropbox, or to have a look on Canva and see what you've already got, so you don't have to make something that you could sell, right? For $5 or $7 or $9 or $11 or $17 or whatever it is. Usually prices with a 7 or a 9 or a 1 do really well. Some reason odd numbers on the ends of prices do really, really well. So have a look and see what you've already got. You'll probably be surprised. You've probably got 4 or 5 things that you could package up and sell. I guess the next thing is you need to have other ideas too around what to sell. So let me give you some. As a therapist in private practice, you could record a audio. Maybe it's a meditation, maybe it's a visualization, maybe it's something like progressive muscle relaxation, and you could sell that for a fiver. And when people were going to book in with you online, you have it as an upsell. Like, did you want to grab this? Here's what you're going to get from it. Here's why I recommend it. It's going to cost you $5. Right? Or you could have it readily available for $5 or $7 or $13 or $27, whatever you want to price it for. But there's some ideas around with the audio. Another good thing that works with audio is a pep talk. So I know it sounds really daggy, but pep talks really sell so well. Like, I sold a pep talk last year. So pep talk is just like you cheering somebody on. Like, maybe it's something that this person is going to listen to when they feel like it's all too much and they just can't do it. Right? So you want to like record this pep talk for them that encourages, provides motivation, all those kinds of things. I sold one of those last year, and I think I sold over 100 copies of that for $7 each. That's $700 in my pocket. And it took me like no time. All I had to do was record a voice thing on GarageBand, save it to Dropbox, and then sell it as a product in Haloxy. That was it. So easy. Other things that you could sell would be journal prompts. So you could sell a page of journal prompts. Now, if you wanted to, you could put a cover on it, and I would recommend that you do. And then your second page would be the journal prompts, and then your last page would be next steps. So, let them know where else they can go to get other micro offers or how to book in with you. If they're at that point, maybe they've had a breakthrough and they want to discuss it, let them know how they can connect with you. So it would be, the journal would be like 3 pages long. You could sell printables. So, printables are really, really popular at the moment. People love downloading their PDFs and printing them off, especially if they're, working from home and things like that, or they're studying at home. So some examples of printables could be worksheets. So maybe you have, if you really love CBT or ACT, maybe you have a worksheet that you've got there that you could sell as a printable. Or maybe you make up your own worksheet that you could sell as a printable. Maybe you sell printable mindfulness coloring things. Maybe you sell a printable progress chart. Maybe you sell printable affirmation cards or affirmation posters. Maybe you sell a printable therapy journal. So there's lots of printables that you could do. You could sell digital products. So they're things that predominantly are online. So a digital product could also be a therapy journal, but maybe it's one that is fillable. They don't have to print it off if they're being eco-conscious and all those kinds of things, and they don't want to waste paper. Maybe your client would appreciate a fillable one. So you could sell a fillable therapy journal or a fillable worksheet or something like that. You could do that. You could sell workbooks. So maybe you have a workbook for anxiety, or a workbook for depression, or a trauma workbook, or a recovery workbook, or a confidence workbook. People love workbooks. And just make sure in the last page, again, you've got links to other micro offers, because usually once people have bought one micro offer, they come back, they've had a little taste, they've had a little nibble, they've had a little sample, and then they want to come back and they want to grab another little one. I do this all the time. Like, there's a lady that I follow and she has micro offers galore, and every week I go and buy something and I really love it. It's something short, sharp, quick, gets me a quick result, and then I go back the next week and I buy the next thing that she's offering. Now, I haven't bought coaching with her yet, but I'm certainly getting to that point because I can already see how good she is from all the micro offers that I'm consuming and how effective they are and how they're getting me results. So they're just some ideas. You could sell a masterclass. And you could sell masterclass to your clients. Maybe it's an anxiety masterclass or a relaxation masterclass, or your psychoeducation could be a masterclass. You could do that. You could sell a webinar. If you've done a workshop or something, you could record it and sell the audio. I do that. I sell the audio for my workshops. You could sell a whole workshop bundle. So I do that as well. So I don't know if I mentioned this already before, but I I think I did mention it before, but I ran a few pop-up groups a few months ago, and I packaged up so they went over 3 days. So I got the 3 audios from the live coaching, and I got all of the deliverables, which were the printables and the workbooks and the worksheets and the templates and the Canva templates and all the things. And I bundled that up. So it was a free pop-up group, but I sold everything after the fact for $37 for each group, and those sell every day. Another example that I've got is my essential forms for private practice. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I hope not, but yeah, so I sell that every single day, and it's more drops in the bucket. So what I would love for you to do is really have a think about whether or not this is something that you'd like to experience, like just having these little drips and drops coming into the bucket, because they do add up. Like my micro offers bringing thousands of dollars to my private practice every single month on autopilot. All I need to do, once I've put in the effort for setting it up, it's pretty much hands off. The only thing that I have to do, because everything's automated, so like if they bought my private practice bundle, for example, they just go to my little checkout, they will pay for it, and then straight away they get the link and they get an email and they're admitted into the portal, and they can go in there and they can start accessing everything. So it's all completely automated. I don't have to do anything. From time to time though, people will say, oh, I didn't get my email, or oh, I didn't get the login, or something like that. So I will have to go in and help those people out, but most of the time it's just hands off. And so I get this money after that for kind of nothing. The only other effort that I need to put into it is I just have to get better at remembering to sell them in my stories, and to regularly be selling them in my stories. I don't think anybody, like old me used to think, oh, people are going to get upset if I'm selling in my stories, but it's actually turned out to be the opposite. And people are like, oh, I didn't even know you had this. This was really good. Thank you. What else have you got? So it's actually worked out better than I expected, which isn't that so true? Like it's always working out better than expected. So yeah, I would encourage you to have a little bit of a think about that. If you wanted to, of course, you could set some financial goals for yourself. But if I were you, the way I would set this up is I would have 5 products at different price points. I would have 1 free or 2 free. Then I'd have 1 or 2 for $5 or $7, and then I would have 1 for $47 or $97, and I would sell each one every single day. So on day 1, I would sell the freebie. On day 2, I would sell the next freebie. On day 3, I would sell the $7 one. You know what I mean? And I would just sell by sharing it in my Instagram stories. I wouldn't be selling it on my Instagram feed because I think nobody wants to read that. But if I put it in my stories and I can make it fun, and I've got a sticker and I've got a link, it's not in everybody's face. They can tap in, tap out. I make most of my micro offer sales in my stories and through Facebook ads. But the other thing that you could do is you could have a little banner on your Facebook page that tells people that these are the micro offers that you've got. You wouldn't say, hey, come and get my micro offers. You would just have a Facebook banner that showed a picture maybe of 3 of them, and maybe your Facebook banner has a click here to grab these or whatever. And then on your Facebook banner, you click that, and you as the owner get an option to edit the information that's attached to that banner. So then you would go and in that information say, if you want to grab this, it's free, and here's the link. If you want this one, it's $7. Here's the link, And yeah, just set yourself up, set your private practice up to start getting some of these other little drops in the bucket. And yeah, I just want you to have a really easy private practice. As I said, this just takes a moment of effort to get it set up. But once it's done, as I said, it's pretty much hands off. So that's the podcast today. If you have a micro offer, start sharing it in the stories and tag me, because I would love to check it out. You know, it might even be something that I want to purchase from you. If you want help with micro offers, come over to the Digital Product Success Hub and I can absolutely help you there. Plus, we've got lots of templates that you can use, done for you templates that you can just rebrand as your own, and you can use those as your micro offers. So it's like, just making it easier for you again. So you can definitely come over there if you like. But there's lots of different ways that you can go about this. But I want to hear what your biggest takeaway was today and what you're going to do like for your first micro offer. Okay, thanks so much for listening, and I'll catch you on the next podcast. Have a lovely Saturday. Bye. I hope that you loved this episode as much as I loved putting it together for you. To get more resources to help you in your private practice, head over to Instagram. My handle is @theprivatepracticecoach. And also, if you want more inquiries and referrals for your business, let me know. I have a program called Clients on Demand that opens every quarter, and I can absolutely get you some information for that as well. You are doing an amazing job. Thank you for sharing your gifts with the world. Bye.